Hello all, welcome to the program Know Your Government by Ekam IAS, an initiative where we pick a government scheme, elaborate on its content and is followed by a question which is in line with the UPSC pattern. Today we will look into a scheme which is known as Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana. Now, this is a scheme which was launched in the year 2015 and the scheme has been launched by the Ministry of Finance. Launched in 2015 by the Ministry of Finance. What is the key purpose of this scheme? This is basically an insurance scheme to cover accidental death or any disability risk. To cover any accidental death or disability related risk for the Indian citizens is one of the key objectives behind the launch of this scheme. This scheme is basically available to people in the age group of 18 to 70 years. In the age group of 18 to 70 years, and one key need was they need to have a bank account opened in their name. Available to people in the age group of 18 to 17 years. Now, obviously this being an insurance scheme, there is a premium amount involved with this one as well. But one of the key advantage was the premium amount was a very mere amount of just rupees 12 in a year. Just rupees 12 in a year was the premium amount which was involved in this one. Now, how this payment was done is, one is through the auto debit mode in an annual frequency from the bank account of the respective people. I'll repeat it once more. It was done through either through an auto debit of just rupees 12 from the respective bank account of the people who are joining for the scheme, and that needs to be happening before June 1st for the next year. That is, subscribers account on or before June 1 of each annual coverage period under the scheme. If somebody is to be joining for the scheme for next year, then by June 1 of this year is when this amount of premium would be deducted from their account. Now, also there was a different option as well as when somebody is continuing this scheme for a longer period of time, is when they could opt for this auto debit option, as well as there can be an option where everybody get the scheme renewed as well on an yearly basis. That is, before the respective nomination date, they have to go and get this one renewed as well. Was also another option which was involved in this one. Now, the scheme is being offered by public sector general insurance companies, and as well any other general insurance companies who are willing to offer a product of similar terms. So, both public sector as well as the private sector companies were involved in the execution of this scheme was also one of the key feature which we need to note. Now, what is the risk coverage which people are going to get? For the death of a person, they are going to, or the nominee would get a benefit of rupees 2 lakh. That is, the nominee who has been nominated by the person who was part of the scheme, he will get a benefit of rupees 2 lakh. Now, in terms of disability, that is for very severe disabilities like total and irrecoverable loss of both eyes or of both hands or both feet. In that case, they would be getting an amount of rupees 2 lakh, or loss of eyesight of one eye and loss of either of a hand or a foot. In that case also they will get an amount of rupees 2 lakh. That is, in case of the severe disabilities, the amount which the beneficiaries would get was close to rupees 2 lakh. Whereas in terms of partial disability, that is, it was happening only to one part of the body, like total and irrecoverable loss of sight of one eye or loss of use of one hand or a foot. Then in that case, the beneficiary would be getting an amount of rupees 1 lakh. Then, any person in the specified age bracket, and they or those people who are possessing a bank account or an Aadhaar number, they would be getting the benefit of this one, and the name of the nominee to whom the benefit should go, they need to just enter the name of the nominee in this form once they are joining for this scheme, was one of the key other initiative. Now, various ministries can contribute to the premium in this segment as well. How? For various categories of their beneficiaries from their budget. The respective ministries would have a respective budget allocation happening as well. So, in that one, through that the respective ministries could also be part of this initiative one, and also from public welfare fund, which was created in the budget's unclaimed money. So if there have been some money which has been unclaimed from the public welfare fund in the budget, that too can be roped in under for the premium amount for the beneficiaries, so that this is going to benefit a larger chunk of people, was again a provision in this initiative. Now, common publicity expenditure will be borne by the government. So any sort of expenditure which is related to the publicity and to create awareness about the scheme to the larger chunk of people, that expense would be something which will be borne by the government. So this scheme is something wherein which the people who are part of this insurance scheme, they are paying a premium, a very small premium, as well as government is also spending from their side in their respective angles, so that the scheme is reaching a larger chunk of people. Now, what are all the inclusions and major exclusions which we need to be taking care of under this initiative? Now, accidents, any death or disability resulting from natural calamities is covered under this initiative. So, accidents, death which has been occurring or disability which has been occurring because of natural calamities is covered under this scheme. Now, but death from a murder is also covered under this scheme. If somebody is killed by somebody, the beneficiary of those person who was killed, he will be getting the benefit under the scheme. But exclusions were, while death due to suicide is not covered. If somebody is committing a suicide by their own, the beneficiary of or the nominee of that person will not get any benefit under the scheme. Partial disability without irrecoverable loss of an eyesight or loss of use of one hand or foot is not covered. The amount of partial disability without irrecoverable loss of an eyesight or loss of use of one hand or foot was also not covered under this initiative. Now, let us see a question which was in line with this. With reference to Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, seen in news is related to A. Insurance covered for agricultural laborers. Second one, ESI insurance scheme. Third one, accidental death and disability risk. And fourth one, or the option D, is old age disability insurance cover. So, as we could see that this is a scheme which is mainly related to accidental death and disability risk. So, the correct answer from the option given is option C. Thank you so much.